Hello everybody. The Warriors pulled out a close one against the Hornets. Jonathan Kuminga dominated the end of the game along with Jordan Poole. Jonathan Kuminga getting this cross screen, and he's going to post up here. The ball will come to him, and then there's going to be three-man gaggle action at the top. In the usual gaggle, one man cuts down the lane, the other person takes a cross screen. So Draymond setting the butt-heavy cross screen for Klay. Jordan Poole doesn't go all the way down the lane. I think it's because Charlotte was freely playing off of Draymond. So here's Draymond's man, Mason Plumlee, and he's freely helping out on Klay. So Klay's getting chased by one guy. Mason Plumlee is just wandering towards Klay. Kuminga passes out to Draymond. You'd rather have him do some kind of dribble handoff to Jordan Poole. In a perfect world, you don't want Draymond shooting this open three. Washington throws a few jab steps at Kuminga, and Kuminga suddenly realizes, oh, I'm way stronger and more athletic than you. I believe you have my property. Nice patient find by Kuminga. He could have taken it into trouble with two defenders back here, but he finds Klay for this open three, and Klay cannot quite cash in the highlight, but it was still a pretty amazing defensive play. Simple pick and roll for Charlotte. Donte DiVincenzo trying to follow over the screen hard. LaMelo Ball fakes crossover back the other way to reject the screen. Draymond knows that if he comes out to contest this, Mason Plumlee will just cut baseline for a dunk. So Draymond says, what the heck, I'll just wait to see if LaMelo can prove he can hit this floater. LaMelo is fated to miss this. We have Plumlee under the basket ready to grab this rebound. LaMelo has a good angle on Draymond to get this rebound. Jonathan Kuminga does not give up on the play, and he just finds this crease right between the two of them and goes, I believe this is still my property, and he comes down with it. Just raw strength. Draymond sets an early pick so Poole can force the switch. Poole knows that he can treat Plumlee as a traffic cone on the perimeter. Draymond's man falls down, so Draymond has a step on him cutting to the basket. Theo Maledon says, alright, I'm back in the play. I think everyone else has been ignoring Draymond, so I'll ignore him too, and I'll try to trap Jordan Poole. Poole sees the trap coming and just dribbles right around Plumlee. That forces Washington to rotate to help Draymond and Jonathan Kuminga cutting to the basket. LaMelo Ball can only guard one of them, and so he chooses Draymond. Jordan Poole with a lovely find and a soft bounce pass to Kuminga. Pump fake gets Washington up in the air to contest, so Kuminga gets into his hovercraft and decides to lay it in nicely. This ball takes a very unpleasant, weird bounce. Now the Warriors are in trouble. Klay and Poole never quite figure out who they're guarding. Here LaMelo comes over to set this pin-in screen, and he's throwing up the thumb behind saying, look, I've got a shooter behind me. Dribble handoff straight into a screen. Rosier is going to snake this pick and roll, so he's going to come back to keep Jonathan Kuminga following him. LaMelo Ball is trying to be helpful and point out, hey, pass it to our open guy, and Rosier says, no thanks, I'd rather try to drive by Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green, and Klay Thompson, who never really picked up anyone after the offensive rebound. And Klay says, oh, look what walked in my front door. Block. Klay poured in a lot of points today, but he looked a little tired down the stretch. This is a simple pick and roll, but he is not on the same page with Draymond. Draymond clearly thinks that he's the only one who can guard Plumlee, so he's got to stay with Plumlee. Draymond steps back to give Klay space to go around the screen to defend LaMelo over here, but instead Klay stays attached to Plumlee, which is not at all what Draymond thinks is going to happen, as LaMelo takes a completely open three. Draymond's body language, he throws up the hands in the air like, what are we doing here? And then he throws his arms down like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. And the Warriors luck out, and LaMelo misses. You can see Kerr calling a play. He's going to call another gaggle action, pointing to Draymond, saying, Draymond, take over this situation. Then Draymond holds his hand up, saying, hey, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. Donte does not seem to be seeing Draymond saying, give me the ball, so Draymond starts beckoning fast with his fingers, saying, gimme, gimme, gimme the ball. And Draymond really has to direct everything on this play. Kerr's trying to point to Kuminga, saying, you've got to go to the low post here, but Kerr's Kerr's in a different hemisphere right now. So Draymond points to Kuminga and beckons him closer, saying, hey, come over here. Go stand in the post. And this is that same gaggle action. In the vanilla gaggle, someone cuts down the lane. Draymond sets this cross screen. JK passes out of the post. Defender runs hard to get around the screen. Plumlee is right behind, so there's not really anywhere for Klay to go. So Draymond says, hey, give me the ball. We're going to flow this into a split cut. Klay dives one way. JK pops out. I like the discipline here, though. There's less than 5 on the shot clock. JK could, by all rights, just hoist this three, using his strength to bounce off of Hayward, and then his body control to make this beautiful little floater. Warriors run a stagger screen for Poole across the top. Poole reverses the ball, and he's even pointing at Draymond to give it to Klay. Draymond's man, Mason Plumlee, is sunk so far back, and so they basically have a 2-on-1 screen up top here. But Draymond seems to think, no, I'd rather have you, Jordan, attacking off the dribble. So he looks off Klay, comes to set the screen on Poole, so Plumlee has to come out and challenge. He has this habit of fishing for faking out people by pretending to pull it out and then quickly going back to the basket. And 99% of the time the defender's there, but 1% of the time you get magic. Draymond sets a high pick. Poole comes around. Plumlee is dropped back, but you know he's going to get traffic coned by Poole. At this point, Poole could have just dribbled around him like a normal person, but no, he had to do a reverse pivot spin just for the entertainment value. Forces Washington to rotate. Kuminga is now going to be free to rotate down the baseline. LaMelo sprints to try to cover Kuminga before it's too late, and he's just too far behind the play. This is a beautiful no-look pass to Kuminga, and he's just going to out-quick everyone to the dunk. It's beautiful to watch Jonathan Kuminga playing within the flow of offense, but then making some nice individual plays when the motion offense gets bogged down. That's just the perfect combination. Now it's time for the celebration audit. Wiseman here seems to be startled by the Poole spin, and when Kuminga dunks it, we've got a cry for joy from the heart from Ryan Rawlings. Moses Moody's celebrations always look like he wants to fight somebody, like someone overcharged him on his cable TV bill. Patrick Baldwin Jr. showing some flair. I was criticizing him for old man celebrations, but here he is patting his head to show that Kuminga dunked on someone's head. Steph is so excited, he's tearing off his jacket, and from past experience, he's either gonna whirl it around his head or spike it into the ground. But then at some point he realizes, yo, hold on, this is a hella expensive jacket. I'm gonna just keep this on. So instead, Steph grabs onto Andre Iguodala. He's kind of doing this, I'm going to keep you from storming the court celebration now. But Andre turned this into a duet with Steph. And so they just start doing a I'm skipping through the daisies, because the young guy just tattooed Plumlee's head with the Wilson logo. And this does make you a little bit nervous about Steph's arm, but it's okay. This is the injured shoulder, so Steph at least had the common sense to not grab with his injured shoulder. That's good thinking, Steph. So go ahead and frolic to your heart's content.